Hey guys, I'm Jessie, and today I have a really big book haul. So I know I was like not shopping as much and trying to clean out my shelves, but April happened, and April was, the spring Friends of the Library sale in my local area, so of course I went to that. Me and my best friend go every single time they have it. They have it twice a year, spring and fall. So of course I went, and everything was super cheap, and I got a lot. And then I ended up taking my son out on like a mother-son date one day, just him and I. And we went to lunch, and one of the things that he wanted to do was go to the bookstore. So him and I went to Barnes & Noble, and I let him pick out some stuff. And then of course I had to get some stuff. So, I may have went a little over the top. And honestly, this isn't even all the books that I bought. Any that I got like specifically for my son and my daughter have already been taken by them into their rooms. And there was quite a bit of those because, like I said, I let him pick out books, and we picked out something for her when we went to Barnes & Noble. And then at the Friends of the Library sale, I picked out quite a few books for the kids because they're like 25 cents each, y'all. Like $1.25. I want to say I paid $41 total, and I was breaking my arm trying to carry this bag down the road to get back to the car. So, very happy with the haul, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to show you everything I got. I'm not going to read synopsises for everything. And especially for the Friends of the Library sale books, because a lot of times you just, like, if you've ever been to one of those, they're kind of chaotic. You just, like, grab off these tables and go, and, like, you go and walk around, and there's a bunch of people, and it's chaos. So you just kind of see something that looks kind of cool, and you throw it in the cart, and you hope it's good because it's only 25 cents or whatever. So we're going to jump into it. All right, so the first one is from neither of those two things. I also went to a Disney event. I went to a 3-day Disney media event, and they put us up in the hotel and gave us park tickets, and they walked us around, and we got to learn a bunch of things from their media and marketing team. It was fantastic. One of our like swag things that we got was this book, and I don't know if it even, I don't know where the dust jacket went to it. One of my kids probably took it. But this is actually all about the Disney Conservation Fund. So one of the big things we got to do was go around like Animal Kingdom, and we got to talk to some of the keepers, and we got to go kind of behind the scenes and see how they actually do conservation and, everything they do as far as conservation and helping animals and rehabilitation, stuff like that. So it was really, really cool. So we got this book about their conservation team, and it talks kind of about the history of it, what they do, different projects, and it's got like big pictures. So I was really excited to have this. I think it's really cool. I'm going to put it on my out there shelf because it's more of like a coffee table book, but I was excited for this one. All right, so then we have my Fairy Loot adult book from March, I think. And that is the Atlas 6. So pretty. And I'm excited to read this. I know it's like super hype. And I know it was originally self-pub, and then she got a traditional publishing deal. There were some edits made. I did not read the original self-published book, but I'm excited to read this one. All right, next we have all the Barnes & Noble books. Those are on the top of the pile. So all of these are ones I got from Barnes & Noble. The first is My Dearest Dark. I've never heard of this. It just looked really cool. It was on one of those like 50% off tables, or buy one, get one 50% off. And it sounded really cool. It's supposed to be like fantasy horror. While all towns have their ghosts, rainwaters were special. The island had a habit of keeping things long after they were gone, and when Finch stepped into Rainwater, Maine, it decided to keep her there. That's about all you're getting from me, but it sounded really cool, and it was a Barnes & Noble pick. And if anyone's read this, let me know what you think about it, because I'd never heard of it. It's a little outside my norm. I think it's more like paranormal horror-esque, but it sounded really cool. Okay, then we got this. Okay, so I've been interested in tarot for a while now. I just think it's really fascinating. I have a deck that I bought. And I haven't even, like, used it yet because I'm just, like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. And I know there's a lot of, like, free information out there, but, like, I wanted to get this because, for one, it was only $10 and it, like, spoke to me. And I just thought it would be really cool to have and to learn from. Then I picked up volumes 1, 2, and 3 of the Demon Slayer manga. I am fully caught up on the show. My husband and I have been watching a lot of anime lately together. And we watched all of the seasons together, and it was so good. Probably one of my favorite anime. And I really wanted to get the manga because I've been really into it lately. Like, I've been really starting to get into manga and more into anime. I used to be into it, like, when I was younger. Then I just kind of stopped watching it, and now I'm, like, getting back into it, so I wanted to pick a few up. I almost bought the box set, but I didn't want to spend $200. But it was a thought in my head, so I was like, no, I'll just get the first 3 and whatever. But I picked up the first 3 of Demon Slayer. I also picked up Women of Troy. It's like a historical fiction. I'm down for it. I've heard a lot of good things about this, so I'm excited. And then I picked up Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is a sequel to Black Sun, and I was just super excited for it. I loved Black Sun, so I'm excited to read the sequel, even though I think Jessie May put that, like, it was disappointing, so, like, I'm a little nervous, but I'm also still excited. Then we've got my pre-order for the Skyward Flight. This I actually ordered directly from Dragonsteel, and it is signed, because I'm a sucker. It's signed and numbered. It's number 1299, and yeah, I'm excited to finally read the novellas, because I was waiting for this to come out in physical form to read the novellas and then read Cytonic, so I will be getting to this very soon. Okay, so then I had, like, a random ARC show up in my mailbox. I have no idea who it was from. I have no idea why it was from. Like, I didn't request it. I have never spoken to, like, the author or the publisher. I don't know where this came from, but it was in my mailbox. And it is Unmask: My Life Solving America's Cold Cases by Paul Holes. And this is I believe, actual, like, nonfiction. And it's funny because I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but when I do, it is, like, true crime or, like, investigations, things like that. I've read all of, like, the John Douglas books, the Mindhunter books that the show was based on, but, like, it's real loosely based on. John Douglas was a real person. He was the real first criminal profiler. He's fantastic. Candace DeLong, another female profiler for the FBI. So I've read a lot of those kind of books, so this kind of actually fits into it. So I don't know who sent this to me, where it came from, but you know what? I'm actually kind of excited for it. So, all right, now everything else came from the Friends of the Library sale. Now, there was more, like I said, some of my kids' books, they've already taken their books. We're going to power through these because there's a lot. Under Heaven by Guy Gavriel Kay. I have no idea what this is about, but you will see a theme here in just a second. So, Under Heaven by Guy Gavriel Kay. Then we picked up Sailing to Sarantium, also by Guy Gavriel Kay. And Lords of Emperors by Guy Gavriel Kay. They had, like, 3 Guy Gavriel Kay books, and I just, like, grabbed all of them because I've never read any of his books. I have others, like, and I've heard really good things about his writing. So when I saw that they had a few of his books at the library sale, I was like, I'm just gonna grab them. Like, I'm just going to go on a whim and grab them. I think they were each, like, $2. Like, yeah, each of these was $2.50. And then I went on a day where they gave a discount, so got these really cheap. Hopefully I like them. If I don't, they can go to my local used bookstore because, like, I don't feel bad about buying, like, $2 books and then giving them back to the used bookstore and all that. I grabbed Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. We got The Other People by C.J. Tudor. Like I said, we're flying through these. I picked up these 2 books, and I think they're all in one series. The Lost Plot and The Burning Page. They are Invisible Library novels. I don't think either one of these is the first book in the series, though, so I'm going to have to look for that. If you know, let me know. I've never really heard anyone talk about them. But I kind of, like, did, like, a quick search of them while I was at the library sale to see if it sounded like an interesting series. And I think the fact that it was called The Invisible Library and it was, like, very based on stories and books and set in the 20s, I was just like, cool, I'll grab them. So that's all that happened. Oh, we got another Guy Gaffrey, okay? And that is At Last Light of the Sun. I've never heard of these. So like it literally, these ones I picked up on name recognition alone. So let me know if any of these books are good, because like I don't know anything about them. Oh, there are a few I know about. Hold on, these ones. Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. This is one of Tahara Mafi's middle grades. That's all I know about it, but like I've been into middle grade. I picked this up like for my daughter, but also for me. So, and then another middle grade is Seraphina and the Twisted Staff. I think this is book 2. I read book 1 recently. Absolutely loved it. Seraphina and the Black Cloak. And these are set at the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina, where I used to live. I didn't live at the Biltmore Estate. I lived in Asheville. But yeah, this is book 2. I really liked book 1, and this is again another like really cute middle grade. Oh, we got one that my son forgot to grab, and that is this Ninjago comic. So I'm gonna have to give this to the boy child. Then we've got She Awakens by Caitlin Denman. It was in the fantasy section when I grabbed it. I have no idea. None at all. It's got a sword on the cover. I picked up this really pretty edition of The Seawolf by Jack London. So I have read this book multiple times. I have my childhood copy of it, which is like pages falling out. It's half destroyed. It's been read so many times. So I saw this and I was like, it was like the 50-cent one. And I had to get it. I had to replace my old, I'm still keeping my old one. But like, you know, I needed an updated version of The Seawolf. This is my favorite Jack London book. I loved Jack London as a kid. Still like Jack London books. But this is my favorite of the Jack London books. It's about this guy who shipwrecks and is taken on by a whaling ship. And instead of like taking him directly to shore, they make him part of the crew for a little while. And he has to like live on this whaling boat. And I haven't read it in a long time, but I wanted to reread it. And I think this is perfect because it's perfect. Then we've got Peter Pan, and I've never read Peter Pan. I've obviously seen like the Disney movie and remakes and stuff, and I know a lot about the original myth, but I've never actually read Peter Pan, so I wanted to read it. Then we've got Aragon. Can you believe I've never read this? I somehow missed the train on this when I was younger, and I want to read it, and I figure if it's one that I like, I can pass it on to my daughter because she likes dragons. It's still a little above her reading level, but it's perfect to have for when she gets there soon. Then we've got The Queen's Weapon by Anne Bishop. I'm pretty sure this is like the 2nd or 3rd book in a series, but it looked really cool and I wanted to get it. And a lot of times at those library sales, you kind of have to just like grab what you grab. And if you grab like a book 2 or a book 3, then you can find book 1, you know, elsewhere or at the library or whatever. But it looked really cool and it was a nice hardback. I remember hearing the author's name, but I've never read anything by Anne Bishop, so let me know if you've read this series. And then the final book of this haul that I've tried to power through and make not too long is Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger. I remember seeing this cover everywhere, but I've never heard anyone really talk about it, and I've never really heard much about it, and so I grabbed it. Like I've said a million times, that library sale is literally grab and throw in your box. Or like you're getting elbowed and it's a lot. So I'm excited. All right, well that is my April book haul. And I know it's a lot. There were a lot of books there, but I probably won't be shopping as much in the next few months, especially because I now have a lot to go through. But I had fun. I only spent a little bit of money, and those library sales only come around twice a year. So I always make sure to hit them up and hit them up well. All right, well, let me know what you thought of any of these books, especially the ones I got from the library sale that I was like, I don't really know much. Because, like, I just grabbed them on, like, cool cover, name recognition, things like that. So let me know what you thought of any of these and which ones I should pick up. All right, my name is Jessie, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.